Here I have another word problems involving quadratic equations. Now take a look at these questions. It doesn't seem like anything related to quadratic or parabola. Find two numbers whose sum equals 12 and whose product equals 32. So two numbers, this and that. The sum, when you add these two numbers together, the sum equals 12. This is what is given. And then the product, as you multiply these two numbers together, we will have 32. This is what they want us to do. If they have x to be one of the two numbers, what is the other one? What is the other number? Let me put a question mark here. What is the value, or what number would it be? How do I express this question mark using 12 and x? Well, looking at this equation, if I can bring the x to the right hand side, the question mark that we are trying to figure out would then be 12 minus x. And if I have 12 minus x for the other number, then given we have a product equals 32, the first number and the second number, as you multiply these two together, will give us 32. And we are starting to see something that looks like a quadratic. As you expand it out, we will see the square term. And we can now solve this equation by graphing. I can rearrange the term and put everything on the same side. Turn this equation into a trinomial. And by drawing it out on my graphing calculator, I'll be able to find the x-intercept on my graph. So here, y equals x squared minus 12x plus 32. And graph it. Here is my parabola. It seems like we have 4 and 8 for the x-intercept. But now I have a graphing calculator. Let me go with this. Let me check. So with the quadratic function, with the parabola, we can now find the x-intercept by using 0. And here, well, I don't see my cursor. How do I find it? Your x value for your cursor is at 1.27, and you're trying to figure out the zeros somewhere near x equals 4. So your cursor is probably somewhere up there. And as I continue to press the right arrow, you start to see your cursor coming back into the screen. Press enter for the left bond, press enter for the right bond. We can then find the zeros in the middle. X equals 4. So that's one of them. And for the other one, second, calculate 0. I can move my cursor to the next point and find the 0 in between. X equals 8. So we draw a parabola. Let me just make a quick sketch. I'm not trying to make it exact, but here it is the graph. We have x equals 4, and that means if we have x equals 4, the other number will be 12 minus x. 12 minus 4, well, that's 8. Or moving on, if I have x equals 8, put it back in. If I have x equals 8, then the other number would then be 12 minus x. 12 minus 8. Well, then you're just getting 4 for the other numbers. So the two numbers would then be 4 and 8. Now this is a question that we've used on the final exam last year, and many students have problems setting up a quadratic equation for this. So what is the chance of seeing it on your chapter test again? Well, I don't know, but I would suggest everyone to understand this concept and make sure you know how to set up a quadratic equation for this kind of problem. And here are the homework for this lesson. Make sure you work on them, give them a try, and see me for extra help in the morning.